Hello students and teachers of English A, Language and Literature for the IB Diploma Program. It's Brad Philpott here. Some of you know me as the author of this textbook, English A, Lang and Lit. I'm here to talk to you today about Paper 1 and more specifically about how to annotate Paper 1. Now, I know you might be thinking, I don't have time to annotate Paper 1. I have to write an outline, a mind map, a thesis statement before I get into my textual analysis. I'm here to tell you that you should make time to annotate Paper 1. It will pay off. Why is that? People who annotate texts are better readers, and people who are better readers are simply better writers. So if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you an example of how it definitely paid off for one of my students. And rather than sit here and mansplain how or why to annotate Paper 1, I'm going to show you some of her successes. So let's jump in. Tip number 1, guiding questions, right? And you can use highlighter pens. So I'd recommend highlighting some of the keywords from the guiding question. Here the student has highlighted the concept of celebrity and has gone hunting for evidence of that throughout the text. And because of this, she's written a really good thesis statement, and she got good marks on criterion A and criterion C because she's very focused on the question and there's evidence of that in her annotations already. Okay, tip 2, identify and label. Now you can see here also the student has spotted a metaphor and she spotted a few other stylistic features throughout this text and she's labeled them. Now by doing that, that's going to help her on criterion B for analysis and evaluation, but it's also going to help her on criterion D for language, where you actually earn marks for knowing the terms of stylistic features. Tip 3, find patterns and hunt for common features. Right, you can see here she's circled several examples of ellipsis, these 3 little dots that seem to act in this text as a way of indicating that the interviewee is thinking about stardom and what it's like to be a celebrity. So when you start to group and cluster and bundle examples of certain stylistic features, you're more likely to get top marks on criterion A, knowledge, understanding, and interpretation, because that's a criterion where you do have to give relevant references to the text, but also on criterion C, organization. It's going to make your analysis more coherent when you've clustered or grouped a lot of the similar examples of a certain feature. Right, tip 4, comment and react in the notes and the margins. You can see here that the student is responding to this character, this person, Ben, who's being interviewed. She's even writing about what it must feel like to be him. She writes, he feels lucky to be, quote, the one, the chosen one. This ties in nicely to the guiding question, of course, and by doing this, she's empathizing with the speaker of the text, and that's going to get her great marks on criterion B, analysis, evaluation. Essentially, paper 1 is this exercise in what makes you say that. And when you have your answers to that question already in the margins, some of your thinking has been made visible, then I think you're more likely to score well on criterion B. Tip 5, come to the exam room with a checklist. You can see how this student has come to the exam room with TAP, presumably for text type, audience, and purpose. She's elaborated on the type of text, writing about how it's an article, an interview, and even a website. Students who do write about text type in a rather nuanced way tend to get more marks. I'm more of a camps guy myself. Some of you have seen this in other videos. C, context, A, audience, M, meaning, P, purpose, S, style, and structure. Now, this is a filter through which you can look at the text through. It's a checklist. You're going to notice more when you come with a checklist. Please don't think it's a method for organizing your whole paper 1 response. It's more or less just a way of ensuring that you've picked up something on everything that needs to be noticed. And really there should be evidence of camps in each body paragraph that you end up writing. So if you've enjoyed these 5 tips, and if you want to see this annotated paper 1 in more detail, please hop onto our support site. It is a subscription, and for so little money with access to so many resources, you can't really afford not to subscribe. I hope to see you on our platform, and I wish you all the best on your exams, and I'll see you in the IB world. Cheers.